and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the MetsXMFanZone live podcast. I am your host, Anthony Gennaro, and we got a really good show for you guys. If you guys love our shows, you guys can always tweet, like, and subscribe. And to get more of your New York Mets news, you guys could check out our website by going to MetsXMFanZone.org. Gives you all of our news stories and latest of your New York Mets on our website, and we're posting up every day. So we got a good show for you because, you know, even though we had a lot of negative, we could turn that negative to a positive because, I mean, so far in this in this baseball world, you know, there's so many things to really, talk about. And, even though we heard the news with Ohtani, going and getting that 600, getting that 700 million, and a lot of you guys really want to know what my outtake really is on that. And I'll tell you guys one thing, and I mean, is a guy worth $70 million a year to go to the Dodgers? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think any player is worth $700 million. I mean, I kind of understand on where they're going with why, on how much they ended up paying for him for 700. I mean, you're basically, you're paying for two sort of players. He is a two-player kind of, deal to be made there. But where was the Mets' standpoint in all of this? I mean, the Mets, from what Cohen said, that they didn't get the call for him. And you know what? Listen, I think it was the right call for the right time, and I think that the Mets really didn't need him. Because you don't listen. If that move would have happened in New York, and especially for the Mets, that would I mean, they would have to pull their franchise. I mean, or somebody is jumping over a cliff, whatnot. I mean, I just don't think that a player's worth 700. So, do I think that was a move for the Dodgers? Yeah, go knock yourselves out. Go get every player that you think. Buying players doesn't always work. Mets tried it. It didn't work. They did it last year. Diaz got knocked off. Got hurt. I mean, what's the next chapter? The Mets are picking up little players. They're picking up players to put in their minor league system. They're getting players to fulfill third base. And a lot of people are like, what's going on here? Why are we constantly keeping regular position players? Mets are gonna make a move. We need to just basically be patient. Now, I did say that Yamamoto was going to plan on, and on Monday, a deal might be. It still might be struck. You don't know. We do know that Yamamoto went and spoke with the Yankees. I don't know on where the Yankees position is in regards to where Yamamoto standpoint, but I do believe that the Mets are still top priority for him to come to. I just think it makes a little bit more sense for Yamamoto to come to the Mets because his friend is Kodai Senga. So I mean, could that be a little bit of a workaround? And he did say that he wants to play with Japanese pitchers around him. So, I mean, could that, be a focal point for him to come over to the Mets? Now, the deal is that they're talking about 300 to 50 for 5 to 6 years. for Yamamoto. Again, we don't know exactly on the full details on where their position is in making a deal. But again, I think in my position, in my opinion, that if there's going to be a deal, the Mets are very highly, perspective for that move. And plus, the Mets need pitching as much as Yankees need pitching also. The Mets need it a little bit more desperately than Yankees. I just think that the where this lies and where I stand on the reporting of this, and I've been all over it. I mean, for days. I've been staying in on this. I've been studying it. I've been, seeing on, where they're planning on going, on where he's going to end up going. And I do feel, and I still stand by my reporting on this, that Yamamoto will be a New York Met. When? I'm not going to say when, because I mean, nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. Steve Cohen could be having a fucking drink at 4 in the morning. Be like, okay, get the deal done, So I mean, you never know. And I mean, he did that with he did it with Max Scherzer. So I mean, we don't know exactly when something's actually. I do I feel that where we are with this Yamamoto move, is it going to be a move that the Mets are going to end up making? I do think that this move is going to be coming down to the wire. I think it's come down to Yankees and Mets. I think the Mets are going to, be a little bit more positioned getting Yamamoto. And then Mets need to go out and get another pitcher also. So where do we stand on another pitcher? Who do we say that's going to be another guy that the Mets want to go as your probably your number 3, because I mean, you still got Cortana, you still got the other pitcher that the Yankees got. So I mean, in Siriano, Severino, whatever his name, got him too. So he's at the bottom of your rotation. So I mean, do we see that something could be really good here? I do believe so. I know, talking with Jordan Montgomery and talking with maybe Blake Snell, I know when I was talking with their agents, from what we are hearing, that the Reds aren't interested in Snell. We're hearing the Braves are interested in Snell. San Diego could very well re-sign him. So, I mean, there are teams that are really looking at Snell right now. I don't think there's any decision on where he wants to play. In that standpoint, I think Blake Snell is probably going to go back to San Diego. But in regards to Jordan Montgomery, that could definitely be a move to be had if Yamamoto goes to the Yankees. Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery could very well standings if the Mets want to go on a Plan B route. But on a Plan A route, it would make sense for Mets to go out and get Yamamoto, so that way he could be your number 2 starter right under Kodai Senga. And then, of course, you got Cortana, and then obviously Suriano. Severino. So I mean, you got those core guys. So that's kind of like where my position is in regards to that. But I'll tell you guys one thing: Mets are gonna make anything that's gonna be going. So when, don't know. So we can't speculate exactly. Because honestly, that's the big main ticket of the Mets off season too. That's the main focal point right now. Where are the Mets on, and in position with Yamamoto, and they are very highly pursued with him. The Mets do like him, and I do feel that the Mets are going to end up probably maybe the end of the day, maybe tomorrow. We don't know just yet. So stay out there. We're still unclear when that signing will. So yeah, again, I still stand by. I really do stand by on where the uh in regards to the. So I know a lot of you guys have always keep asking me questions on it. Where we stand on it, where I stand on it. But I know when I was down, I'll tell you guys one thing. When I was down in Memphis, um, when they had the winter, when we went down to the winter meetings, while I was fucking sick as a dog. I mean, I was listening to some of the conversations, and a lot of those conversations were very interesting. So, you know, I I was listening in on a Blake Snell trade, Blake Snell move. I was also listening in on a Jordan Montgomery move. I do know that the Mets are very highly getting a guy. So, you know, I don't think that Met fans gonna be very disappointed. I think that the Met excited to see something gonna happen. When hopefully by Christmas. Hopefully, hope, and of course I'll be here to report it for you. So that's kind of where my position is on. Uh, Also, a lot of the question is that you guys have been saying, you've been reporting on Jordan Montgomery. Where is on that? Position on Jordan Montgomery. I think he definitely will be signed with the Mets too. Again, that's Plan B option. I think if the Mets don't go out and get Yamamoto, but it could very well be at a, we're hearing at a 5 to 6 year deal on Jordan Montgomery, 6 years, and we're hearing at 190. So